Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy SusMYT here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to remove the Wellness debuff off of Darkness Falls for Alpha 20.6 on the 7 Days to Die mod launcher. Wellness debuff is when you die and you lose your overall max HP. It caps at, I think the minimum is 50. It's really hard to come back from that stage, so in this video I'm just going to show you guys how to completely remove that debuff altogether. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to your installed overhauls, click the Darkness Fall in the mod launcher itself. You're going to see mod installed at, and there should be a little link here for a folder. You just open up that folder, and then you're going to open up the mods folder, the Darkness Falls core folder, config, and you're going to look for buffs.xml. You're going to click it once, then right click it and hit edit. If you haven't done this before, you're going to do edit with notepad or open with notepad. It should say something either or, edit or open with notepad. Just click edit. You'll get the notepad version of the XML. Up in the top left, you're going to click edit and you're going to hit find, and then you're going to type in wellness and you're just going to hit find next, and you're going to look for wellness failsafe first. And you're going to want to change this entire, all these values here as I got them. So starting off minimum of 100, which is your max HP of 100. So when you die, it'll only stay at 100. And then as you level up your health nut perk, it'll go up each level. So from 120 to 140, 160, 180, 200 being max level health nut. Also make sure you change this value as well. So you want to do value 100, and then you want to do 120, 120, 140, 140, and then so on and so forth for the rest of these. You can change these numbers to whatever you like. If you don't want 200 to be your max health for max health nut, just change the values to what you like. But if you do want to stay at least 100 health when you die multiple times, make sure this very first one is set to 100. And then you just continue on from there. I do it in increments of 20, so every time you level up health nut, like no health nut is 100, level 1 health nut's 120, level 2 is 140, level 3 is 160, level 4 is 180, and level 5 is 200 being the max. And now, once you have those values set, remember please to change these values too, otherwise it won't work. You're just going to go back up into this find box, and you're going to hit find next until you get to on death. So see, these are this health nut levels. It goes by 5 levels. It's just showing you that's not what we're looking for though. We want to go down until we find on death. So we're just going to keep hitting wellness. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. Just going to keep hitting it, and then it should be right here. Reducing, this is what you're looking for. Reducing player wellness due to death, no health nut. So without health nut, you just want to change this to 100. And then health nut 1 is 120. So when you level up, it's going to be 120. You're basically redoing the same exact thing you did above, but this is actually going to change it because the values are going to match. So you do 120, 140 for health nut 2, 160 for health nut 3, 180 for health nut 4, and 200 for health nut 5. And then that should altogether increase your max health when you upgrade health nut. Now, in order to make it to where you don't lose wellness or your max HP, you have to go to this line here, and it'll say operation equals subtract value. Make that 0 for every single one of these. So this way, when you have, say, for instance, on no health nut, if you don't level health nut at all, you will have 0 wellness debuff. So when you die, you won't get the debuff, but you can only stay at 100 health if you stay without health nut and don't put any perks into it. And then say you put a perk into health nut 1 and you get the 120 max. If you don't change this value to 0, you'll lose 10 from every part, all the way down to the min of 100. So if you just want to get rid of this, or if you want to keep it, it's up to you. I personally just get rid of the debuff altogether. So you just want to change all these values on Operation Subtract to 0. So this way, as you level up Health Nut, you won't lose any of your max HP for dying. So, and that's basically it. That's all you got to change. Just remember to change the subtract values to 0 and change the max to, you could keep the max. If you want to keep it default and normal, you don't have to change these values. You can keep it default and normal. But if you don't want to lose your max HP as you level up, just change these values to 0. You can keep everything else the same. Just make sure these subtraction values are at 0, and make sure the subtraction value at the top is at 0 as well. They all have to match. If they don't match, it won't work. So you just you got to make sure that all the subtraction on those two sections that I showed you are at 0. So this way you don't actually lose any wellness. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, if you do want these increments to change and the values to actually change and stick, make sure you hit File and make sure you hit Save, and then you could just exit the whole XML, and then you should be able to just launch your game by hitting play, and it will automatically update whatever save you load up in. But if you guys liked and enjoyed the video, and if this helped you out, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.